Are you visiting Paris in summer 2024? You could be in for quite a shock when it comes to the price per night that you pay for your stay in the city. But fear not, having lived in the French capital and knowing the city very well, I'm here to help you out with some suggestions of where you can stay. If you're new here, my name's Jonny. I'm originally from the UK, I'm now living in Madrid in Spain, but I lived in Paris for 2 years not too long ago. So if you're watching this video in 2024 and you're planning to visit the City of Light over the summer period, there's a good chance that your trip coincides with the Summer Olympic Games that will take place in the city this year. Maybe that's even the purpose of your trip. And as one might expect, demand for hotels and Airbnbs is soaring and the prices are skyrocketing as a result. French media outlets report that the average price for a stay per night in the July 2024 in the Ile de France region, that's to say the center of Paris and its suburbs, is approximately 700 euros per night. That's around a staggering 300% increase on July 2023 prices. And it gets worse. In the center of Paris, there's talk of the average price per night being at 1,000 euros per night. Now, whilst those prices may sound exorbitant, keep in mind that they are an average, and it's very possible that certain arrondissements or neighborhoods of Paris are inflating that average price, such as the neighborhood where the Eiffel Tower is, such as the very center, the first arrondissement, etc. A quick Airbnb search in January confirmed that these prices do in fact exist, but that it's very much dependent on the neighborhood and the type of property, with these higher prices mainly being associated with luxury or larger apartments in the city. And it's been reported as well that Airbnb will inform users of the platform if the price per night of the place they're looking at is above the normal average. That said though, I don't think it will change the fact that prices in the city will be very, very expensive over summer 2024. Anyways, this is where I come in, as having visited Newcastle, on my way back to Madrid after Christmas, I made a stop in Paris for a few days and of course couldn't pass up the opportunity to film, as is always the case when I travel. And so what I'm going to do now is take you on a short tour of Paris through the key sporting venues of the city where the main Olympic events will take place. And for each of those venues, I'm going to suggest some neighborhoods that are nearby or that have good transport connections to the place so that you can get there easily and perhaps find a place that is less expensive than you originally had in mind. And as I take you on this tour as well, mentioning the neighborhoods that you might consider for each venue, I'm going to be showing you the average rental prices in terms of normal rent for those neighborhoods. Of course, Airbnb and hotels might differ, but from that you should be able to get an idea of where are the expensive neighborhoods and where are maybe some of the more affordable neighborhoods in Paris as well. And the source for this is French property website seloger.com. So with that said, guys, allons. So welcome to the center of Paris where our tour begins. So let's go and visit our first Olympic venue. Okay, so right behind me, not sure if you can see it very well, just behind the Flixbus there, is the Accor Hotels Arena, or the Bercy Arena, it's also known. So that's going to be the venue for a lot of the basketball, which I would love to go and see actually as a basketball fan, and some of the trampolining and gymnastics as well. So this is basically in the 12th arrondissement of Paris. If you look just behind me as well, you can see this, traffic going by, but there's the Seine River behind me as well. So if you're looking at going to any of these events, then probably staying in the 5th, 3rd or 6th arrondissement is probably a good idea for you. These are fairly central neighborhoods. You can get to the very center of Paris very quickly. You can get to here very quickly. 5th and 6th are just across the river, so either a metro ride or even a walkover and you'll be at the Accor Hotels Arena very quickly. And I think for being central neighborhoods as well, these aren't necessarily some of the busier neighborhoods of Paris. So you've got that going for you as well. It's really close. It's a big green open space. You can sit down, enjoy, some relaxing time away from the noise, the hustle and bustle of the city. As I was speaking about the Jardin de Luxembourg, I thought it would be nice to go and take a quick visit there. So I hopped on the RER, walked past Notre Dame, as you can see there, and then we arrived at the Jardin de Luxembourg. So this is the Luxembourg Garden, as you can see. A lot of space here to walk around, places to sit down, nice little lake behind me. Got the Montparnasse Tower in the back there. Yeah, this is one of my favorite spots from when I lived in Paris. And if you're in the neighborhood, if you're nearby, definitely worth stopping by. And having a sit down and enjoying this green space in the middle of a stressful, busy, hectic city. Now we're going to jump on Metro Line 9 and head out west to check out our next venue. Okay, so any tennis fans watching now may recognize what I'm walking alongside right now. For those of you that don't, this is the Roland Garros tennis court, where logically the tennis will be held and also some of the boxing. And actually not far down the road, about 10 minutes walk, is the Parc de France football stadium, home of Paris Saint-Germain Football Club, and where the football is going to be hosted at the Olympics. So a lot going on in this neighborhood. This neighborhood is called Boulogne-Billancourt. It's in the southwest of Paris. So this neighborhood actually itself, and also the 16th arrondissement, which is nearby, very affluent neighborhoods. You'll see that from the things that you see around there, the type of buildings, the shops, the cars that you see in this neighborhood. You can tell it's quite an affluent area. But this could be a good place to stay if you're looking for somewhere near to the football or to the tennis, if that's what you're coming to see. So yeah, good connections on the bus and the metro as well. So if you're looking to come to some of these events, then Boulogne-Billancourt or the 16th arrondissement can be nice neighborhoods to check out. By this time it was 2 o'clock and I was starting to get hungry, so I made a stop at a Turkish restaurant where I had a doner kebab and some ayran to remind me of good times I spent in Istanbul. And now continuing on, we stay in department number 92 in the west of the city for the next venue. Alright, now behind me, over there, is the U Arena in Nanterre. And that is going to be the center for swimming and some of the aquatic sports like water polo. And this is in the area of La Défense, which is basically one of the main central business districts of Paris. There's a lot of big offices, a lot of multinational companies have their headquarters here in La Défense. And so as a result, this area is pretty well connected both to central Paris and to the western region of Paris, which is where I would suggest, if you're looking at seeing events that are going to take place here, that you look for accommodation. Places like Puteaux, Suresnes, Courbevoie, Saint-Cloud, which are all in the western region and within 20 minutes max on public transport, whether it's the tram or the Transilien train, you can get to La Défense, you can get to the Nanterre Arena. Very nice little cities in the western region of Paris as well, quite quiet, residential, not too much goes on, so you can look for accommodation in these parts and the streets aren't going to be crowded, unless everyone of course has the same idea, then of course it's a different story. But generally speaking, in these western cities there's not as much hustle and bustle, not as many people racing around like there is in the center of Paris. Now on a Friday afternoon in La Défense with the end of the workday looming, I did not want to get caught in the rush hour commute, so I jumped back on the metro and headed back towards Paris for the next set of venues. Okay, so this is Invalides. Behind me, green fields. In the summertime, actually, people sometimes sit down here, have picnics, play ball games, whatever, when there's nice weather. As I say, it's January now, so we don't have that good weather. It also goes to that little stretch behind over there. And then if we look in the background over there, you cannot see it because it is.
And then just over there as well, of course, you can see the Eiffel Tower.
So a lot of events going to be going on in this area. There'll be the road cycling, some more of the athletics over here as well. Over by the Eiffel Tower at the Champ-Mars Arena, there'll be the beach volleyball and archery, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So quite a few events going on around here. Now the problem with this area, of course, the 7th arrondissement where the Eiffel Tower is, it's obviously going to be a place where a lot of people think of going for their accommodation, so it's probably going to be very expensive, very busy to try and find something in this kind of area. So with that said, I'd probably recommend something in like the 3rd, the 5th or the 6th arrondissement, near where the Bercy Arena is, or possibly even something near Montparnasse. Just above my finger there is the Tower Montparnasse. Bit of a busy neighborhood, but you do have the Montparnasse train station nearby if you're coming from a different part of France, so something. Now headed to the last venue, and I got quite confused trying to find this place before eventually getting on the RER train to head out there. Alright, so now, and as the rain starts to fall, the light starts to fade, I'm here at the Stade de France. So this is going to be one of the main venues for the rugby and also for a lot of the athletics that's taking part as well.
Right next to the Stade de France, just over in the distance there as well, is actually the Olympic Aquatic Centre as well.
Now, this was a bit of a pain to get to, I'm not going to lie to you, because the transport connections here, they're not as good as they are for some of the other venues. So the easiest way to get here is probably from La Plaine Stade de France RER station on line B, and then it's about a 5-10 minute walk from there. Or you've got Metro Line 13, which also comes close. I would say probably the RER, because if you're in the center of Paris, then it can get you here in about 10-15 minutes. And so because it's a bit of a pain to get to, and there's not really much in this neighborhood apart from, 1 or 2 hotels, Novotel Hotel over there, you can imagine that's going to be super pricey with the Olympics as well. Probably what I would suggest is stay in somewhere you're close to the RER, where you got an easy connection to RER Line B to get here as well. Could possibly consider some of the areas around Gare du Nord station as well, which is also on RER Line B, though I would say choose carefully. Yeah, this of course was also the venue where the World Cup final was held 2018, when France beat Croatia and won the World Cup as a result. This is a cool little tunnel with all the lights and stuff. Yeah. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that mini tour of Paris, and I hope it helps you when it comes to looking for a place to stay over the summer. Just remember, if there is a metro, bus, RER, tram, whatever it may be, public transport stop near the venue, and you decide to stay somewhere on that route that's relatively close, that can also be a good option for getting to wherever it is you're going. Leave a comment and let me know which neighborhoods you're looking at staying in Paris. And if you're going to the Olympic Games, let me know what events you're going to watch as well. So next time, I'll see you on the next one, and let's get this money.